love, your love. I said, true love, baby, that's what you give to me. I said that true love, baby, that's what you give to me.
Tell us about Darren. What's it like? I mean, what a character. What a character.
Darren's fun. Darren is, you know that country song about plug me in, I'm a jukebox? That's Darren. Darren knows that when I first met Darren, you know, it's like I'm a couple days older than he is. We were almost identical twins. But I remember thinking, why would somebody this young know all these songs? Something's wrong with this picture. And so Darren is unique because he's just kind of lifted out of context. He's like, he should have been at another time period, really, you know. So that was the thing that really stood out, you know. That when I think of Darren, it's like, oh my God, all those songs.
Tell us about Bill.
Bill? Okay.
I mean, we talked about from whence Bill came. Danny passed on, how he came into the band, but tell us about Bill. Just what's it like to work with Bill?
Oh, Bill. Well, see, in some respects, Bill took over. Well, he took over all the musical roles that were
Had to
Danny's.
take him over.
Well,
Had to take him over.
Well, he didn't have to. What he had to do was he had to play bass, and he had to sing harmony, and he had to show up. I mean, really, when you come down to it, what he did do was he became a good friend, right? A really good friend, and proved himself infinitely, you know, in some exponent number to be a wonderful person, right? But he's an incredible musician. He hears it like Danny would hear it, you know, and so he took over that role. Now we look to Bill. Now, what harmony should go here, Bill? So he took over that function. And plus, you know, like Danny was, and maybe even more than Danny was, you know, because Danny, it was hard to get Danny out of his house, you know, to come over and, you know, to practice or to do stuff, and Bill is always there, you know, so he's just a really close friend.
Well,
in fact, we're all close.
We all know that, you know, Bill's going to go on. A player. But you were there at the beginning, and I know Daryl Klusendorf was there at the beginning, and he owns his restaurant, and you know, what role has Daryl played in this band over the years?
Well, he started the band.
Or what he continues to play.
And well, what Daryl has done.
Oh, hi, beg your pardon.
What Daryl has done, or what he did do, was he got the whole thing started. You know, in many respects, he was one of the major creative forces within it and behind it. You know, now he's the guy.
But Darren will choke and gag if you don't mention him in the same breath.
Well, yeah, and that's true. He is. It's like it was like kind of like the Beatles in a way. You know, there were when I came into the band, there was Danny playing bass, and they were already doing this before I was around, right?
Really?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
There was the three of them, the three Doritos. Only they weren't the Doritos.
But
they
who
were
were
those
the three? It was Danny and
Daryl and Darren.
and
the
Darryl.
three D's plus.
The
That's
three
where the D, the
Ds.
Dorito,
and
the
my
Dorito
other
name.
brother Daryl. You know.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
you used to hear that joke a lot, but it was kind of like, but there was these two singers, that was Daryl and Darren, and then Danny over on bass, you know, playing his heart out and singing beautifully, and so they would bounce it back and forth. It was almost like there were two creative forces within the band at that time. You know.
So when you walked into that, well, at one point Daryl kind of excused himself.
Well, it just got too
To
hard.
a lot of people,
Yeah.
to a lot of people who really don't know, Daryl was never really a part of the Doritos. He was just someone that sat in and a good friend and a talent.
Yeah.
But they saw the Dorito brothers as being you, Bill, and Darren.
I don't think that was so much true until we kind of branched out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Took it away from the Sky Harbor.
Yeah, because he couldn't go.
Yeah.
He'd have gone, and he did go a few places at first, but he just made a choice, you know.
Good friend.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Still continues to be.
when it's all over with, and we'll be there, all of us, 15, 20 years from now, 20 years from now, corny as it sounds, how'd you like to be remembered? What, do you feel that a legacy is being left somehow? How would you like to be remembered?
Well, I hope people can remember me as I am. You know, I don't know that I don't think it matters that much, actually, except to the people who know me well. And those people will remember me as I am. Not as you know, from a fan maybe that I don't get very close to, who sees me as a thing, kinda, you know? Tom DeRito, not as who I really am. They'll forget me.
Do you feel that Tom DeRito and Tom are that far removed?
No, I don't. They're not at all.
Well, there's an onstage persona, and there's, you know,
Yeah.
encountering the press and this and that. But
Well, one of the
when it
things
comes to
about the
getting-
Doritos is that, and you know this to be true, is that there's never been a persona. There's never been a false face on the Doritos. We've never said, I know, let's be this. We've never done that. We've always been exactly who we are, just as John Lennon and McCartney, you see, the Beatles, those people were always who they were. I mean, they did the clothes and they did the hairstyle, you know, but that was just, but when they did it, they were really who they were. And you know from all of the videos that they were having a good time, and it wasn't, the music was for them, you know, as much as it was for others.
Tom, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, mine too.